care economy refers to the paid and unpaid labor and services that support caregiving in all its forms. Due to its pervasive and all-encompassing nature, care work goes largely invisible and undervalued, being perceived as a non-productive activity. As the world population grows and ages, the demand for care increases. Care economy is mainly carried out by girls and women, yet the dimensions of unpaid work are quite gendered. Even though women's labor force participation is a critical determinant of women's economic empowerment, 606 million women worldwide are not working or seeking employment due to unpaid care responsibilities, according to a 2018 study conducted by the International Labor Organization. Sustainable Development Goal 5, Target 5.4, was a response to the discrimination and disadvantage that women and girls face on account of their disproportionate care responsibilities, which adversely affect their full participation in economic, political, and social life. It further emphasizes the significance of recognizing and valuing unpaid care and domestic work and the promotion of shared responsibility within the household and the family. Care economy, as a sector, has been profoundly affected by COVID-19. The pandemic has reinforced gender inequities in unpaid care work at home and in labor market participation. A Gates Foundation research issued in 2020 identified job loss related to unpaid care responsibilities as a threat to women's economic empowerment. Surprisingly, the care economy does not look very different around the world. In middle-income countries, 46.7% of women identified unpaid care work as the reason for staying out of the workforce, compared with just 6.3% of men. This matter is not merely restricted to middle-income countries. In the United States, approximately 53 million adults care for a child or an adult, providing an estimated $470 billion in economic value. The majority are women, of whom 60% have to take time off work to give care, according to a 2020 report by the National Alliance for Caregiving, NAC, and AARP. Regional variations also exist. Women in South and Central Asian countries spend a greater number of hours in unpaid care and domestic work than women in Southeast Asia. The 2020 report on the progress of women in the Arab states shows that women play an outsized role in the care economy in the Arab states, performing 4.7 times more unpaid care work than men, the highest female-to-male ratio anywhere in the world. On the other hand, in Tunisia, women spend on average 5 times more than men on unpaid care work. Among them, married women spend the most time, twice as much as unmarried women. Educated women spend more time on direct care work, but less time on indirect care work. Although the bulk of unpaid care work falls on the shoulders of women and girls, different household structures can affect the distribution and the amount of time spent on these activities. Caring for dependents, including children of different age groups, the elderly, and ill or disabled persons, has different implications on women's time, based on the needs of each group. This generates a negative impact on women's participation in the labor market. In 2019, women held only 26% of jobs in Tunisia, which has not changed much over the past decade. Furthermore, the most paid care sectors are in the public sector, particularly in education and health, while the private sector dominates in personal care and early childhood education, where female workers are particularly overrepresented. The share of women in the health and education sectors exceeded that of men, at 61% and 56% respectively, despite their low participation rates in the job market overall. The care sector in Tunisia suffers from 2 serious shortcomings: the quality of the services provided, as reflected by the average qualifications of its workers, and the poor quality of employment. Thereby, there is an acute need for a coordinated national care strategy to identify priorities for the care economy and to coordinate and generate investment. Much remains to be done to reduce gender inequalities in the area of unpaid care work and in women's participation in the labor market in Tunisia.